Pseudo-emanators are a very strange topic in Honkai Star Rail. They are mortal, range massively in power, and are directly under the Aeons. And ever since Acheron shattered the skies of Penacony, leaving an irreparable scar in the dreamscape itself, everyone has been wondering, what is an emanator? How strong are they? Are there any others? And since then, we have seen many others who have only confused us more. And today, I'm not gonna help with that. Because today I have a theory that just might have you looking at Aeons and emanators a little differently. Because this is Honkai Star Rail's double emanator reveal. Alright, so you guys remember the IPC's favorite victim, Aventurine, right? I've gone over his backstory multiple times, but just so it's fresh in your mind, I'll explain it again real quick. So Aventurine's real name is Kakavasha, and he was a child of the Aventurine clan raised on Sigonia 4, a world with many warring clans. Oswaldo Schneider of the IPC shows up and initiates Sigonian sovereignty to unify everyone but the Avgins and their worst rival, the Catechins. And since the Catechins were stronger, much stronger, they planned to exterminate the Avgins, and they succeeded because the IPC didn't intervene even though they agreed to. Kakavasha escaped but got caught and sold into slavery. He freed himself, killed his master, then got caught by the IPC. Then he managed to smooth talk his way into becoming one of the 10 stone hearts of the preservation because he rolled the dice on speech and rolled a nat 20. And trust me, I explain this all for a reason, because the 10 stone hearts have 10 cornerstones, and the cornerstones are a power source created by Diamond, the emanator of the preservation, which makes Jade, Topaz, and Aventurine all pseudo-emanators. Because an emanator is someone who gets power directly from an Aeon, and Diamond chose to share this Aeon power with the Stone Hearts. So I call them pseudo-emanators, because even though they didn't receive power directly from the Aeon, they still have the Aeon's power. And that's still significantly more than Pathstriders normally have. In addition, the definition of emanator is pretty vague and flexible, mostly because the Aeons quite literally do whatever it is that they want with their power. I mean, heck, Aha gave the entirety of his power to a worm, watched the worm explode, then took it back. But for that brief moment, the worm was the most powerful emanator of elation that will ever exist. And if that counts and is canon, it's not even a stretch to count the Stonehearts as pseudo-emanators at the very least. So that is how Aventurine is a single emanator. But here's the fun part, because no one has realized that Aventurine already had the power of an Aeon in the first place. Because the reason why Aventurine is so lucky and has survived so much is because he is the notorious child blessed by the Gyanthra Triclops. And what if I told you that we know who and what this is? Let me explain. This is a power that we know all too well. A power that we already know has allied itself with the preservation in the past. A power that we even fought against ourselves. This is the power of order. Yes, I am claiming that Aventurine, aka Kakavasha, is a child blessed by the order. And I'm going to tell you how and why. First of all, let's look into what we know about the Gyanthra Triclops. Well, it is a god that the Avgins pray to and has supposedly protected both the living and dead of Sigonia 4 for amber eras or countless centuries. While End of the Order is one of the most ancient Aeons, characterized to be a just Aeon that is intolerant to any form of chaos and strife. Do you get it now?
Nope.
No? Okay, so what if I told you that the form Enna takes has 3 eyes, making them a Triclops? Still don't believe me?
Nope.
Well, what if I told you that the one eye that is open is near identical to Aventurine's eyes? Purple on the outside, blue on the inside. A pair of eyes that have always had a huge emphasis put on them throughout the story.
Beautiful eyes, though.
What pretty eyes.
My eyes might not be as pretty as yours.
You can't make this up. Now remember, Ena the Order cannot tolerate strife and chaos, and there is no one who has had a more chaotic life filled with strife than Aventurine. Well, maybe Acheron, but this ain't about her. I believe that the Gaianthra Triclops is one of the forgotten names of Ena the Order, because we already know that the Aeons go by multiple names. Lon, for example, has the Rainbow Arbiter, God of the Skybow, Archer, Lord of Fate, Devilish Archer, Author, and that's just the Aeon of the Hunt. Who's to say that one of the oldest Aeons doesn't have multiple names as well?
But no, the Order is dead!
Not necessarily. The Order simply merged and assimilated into the Harmony. It still very much exists in a sort of limbo state. We also know that the power of the Order still exists as well because Sunday called on it and used it. So no, the Order is not exactly dead. Aeons aren't that simple. So, I've given you a lot of proof supporting my claim, but how did the power of the Order even find Kakavasha on some irrelevant planet like Sigonia 4? Well, it's because they were so devout. Kakavasha's father died trying to obtain a sacrifice for the Gaianthra Triclops. His mother died praying to it, and Kakavasha's name quite literally means child blessed by Gaianthra, on some Bible-type energy. Oh, and it just so happens that the other follower of the Order, Sunday, could not have heavier ties to Christianity if he tried. Now you're going to sit there and tell me that this isn't a thing? Well, I don't believe in coincidences, nor do I believe that Hoyo does things for no reason. Even from within the Harmony, the vestiges of the Order still remain and found their way across the galaxies to a humble world to bless a child born into the strife and chaos they despise. Thus is the origin of Kakavasha, a child born the emanator of a fallen Aeon, a child that grew up to follow the preservation, the longtime ally of the Order, to also receive the power of Klapoth through Diamond making the cornerstones. And that is how Aventurine became a double emanator without even being aware of it. As of right now, Aventurine possesses limited power given by two different Aeons. And the crazy part is, he still has zero clue about how special his eyes truly are, because he says this.
Do they shine in the dark?
Well, if they did, I'd sell them in a heartbeat.
To further support my claim, Aventurine's mother prayed for three things: for his blood to pulse eternally, for his life to be peaceful, and for his schemes to be forever concealed. Even though his life has been anything but peaceful, again, this is a faint glimmer of the power from the Order. It's not able to do everything, but I know two things. Aventurine is unkillable, and no one can ever figure out what this guy is truly after. So the other two are covered. This is also why Aventurine will always win once he's bet his life, because that endangers him and triggers the Order to manipulate things in his favor because he has to stay alive. So the Order can't do everything, but it's still doing a lot if you ask me. And that is Honkai Star Rail's double emanator reveal. The Preservation and the Order have teamed up yet again. This is a wild theory, I know, but the evidence is there, and to be 100% honest, it's not even my theory entirely. Someone else discovered that Aventurine has the eyes of the Order, and I ran with it. I'll link to the HoYoLab article in the description because, credit where it's due, I would have never noticed that detail. I never got Aventurine. I've sworn off getting any IPC characters because I'm just that petty. And there's the obligatory shot at the IPC. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.